Okay, looks like we're up and running. So welcome in everyone to the final round of ALR Season 20 with Tier 2 Blue. Titles are both wrapped up. We've got Harry, champion, currently on pole for this race. Also winning the Constructors' Championship with his teammate Jack, who is down in 6th for qualifying in this one. So, quick run through the grid. We've got Harry, champion on pole. Fatban, new driver for this race. Previously a Tier 1 driver. Hasn't raced in ALR for, at least on Mondays, for quite a while. And it might be a little bit rusty. That's why he's in Tier 2. We had some space in Tier 2. They actually got out qualified by Harry. Shows how well Harry's been doing in this tier, especially with the Citroen. And he's in the Porsche, which means he's going to go backwards off the starts, unfortunately. But at least they'll make it interesting to see where he can get back to. We've got Astro having a really good end to the season in third. Unfortunately, they missed a round, which I think kind of killed any chance of getting into a title fight. And I think he was relatively close until then. Then we've got Prime Cole, another good qualifying in fourth, keeping his good run going. Then we've got Taz in the Audi in fifth. Welcome, Prime Cole. And we've got Taz in fifth in the Audi, another car that's going to go backwards off the line. We've got Jack, as I said, in sixth in the Citroen. Got to keep an eye on Jack. He did a little bit of murdering in some of the practice races, so I'll have to keep an eye on that one. Then we've got Klinger in the AMG. So actually, looking, just mentioning the cars, Astro in the Jag is quite impressive in third, because MR cars really do dominate this. And it is MR cars, apart from Astro, all the way down to P7, which is Klinger in the AMG. And then I think we have quite a flurry of them. We've got Ross in 8th, qualifying in the top 10. So that's a good start for him. Obviously, he's only 12, but still, it's a good start for Ross. Jaguar got off the line as well. Tom Maddox, so he's a new driver, only passed the evaluation this week. What has he gone in? He's gone in the Audi R8, so unfortunately another one who's going to go backwards off the line. But should be decent around this track at least with the Audi. Then we've got Pyro. Not sure what's happened to Pyro second half of the season. First half of the season, there was some great results, great qualifyings, great races, and it's just sort of fallen off a little bit for Pyro. Still in the top 10, just ahead of Orso, who I'm not surprised, who is down in 11th. The Viper really is not built for this track at all. Then we've got Apex Magical Man, hoping to do a little bit better than he did in the last round. The Taiwan really killed him last week. And they are the 12 we've got for this one. So let's go back to fully at the beginning. Get the full 5 red lights coming on. We have 5 red lights. Let's go on board with Fatban, or focus on Fatban as we are off. Harry absolutely disappears, and here comes Jack all the way through P2 already down the inside of Astro. Fatban possibly even down to 6th after that. Ooh, gets a little bit of a bump from Ross. Might have actually helped him out a little bit there. Gets him into 4th place. Klinger making up a couple of positions. Prime got down into 6th. Taz trying to fight his way back into 7th. Oh, and Ross going a little bit deep there again. Oh, and that was Tom going really deep around that corner. Got him a bad exit out of the following corner, but he is still ahead of Magical Man and Auto. As Auto going side by side with Magical Man. Magical Man's got the inside for this next corner. He does get that position. So up into also actually dropping a position off the start, which is a little bit surprising. Harry, comfortable lead at the moment. Astro did manage to get back ahead of Jack. Oh, that was Fatban coming in deep there. He isn't right on the back of Jack yet, but I do expect him to make his way forward. Not particularly high of tyre wear track, probably one of the lowest on the calendar, so nobody's going to have any issues, or no serious issues with tyre wear in this one, I suspect. Klinger up into 5th, so that was, I think that's 2 positions gained for Klinger. Not the easiest track to overtake on as well. It's a good track for racing, like side-by-side racing. Lots of corners you can follow each other, go side-by-side through, as long as you get left room by whoever you're doing it with. Oh, that was Pyro just cutting over the chicane. Wonder if he got a penalty for that. No, they didn't gain any time. And he's coming under a little bit of pressure from Tom. And also has got past Magical Man, who must have made a mistake because he has dropped quite a decent way off auto now. Oh, Fatman going for a late move on Jack. It looks like he's got that one done. Got one more position, then he's got some free air to drive into and try and get to Harry. See if he can challenge him. He's been pretty dominant, at least in the sprints. Some of the features haven't always gone to plan for Harry, but sprints he has had on lock. I think maybe the only one he struggled at was Watkins, which is not a great track for the Citroen by any means. And Fat Barney's already getting closer to Astro. And the Porsche is good on the brakes. Got three big braking zones to have a go at getting an overtake done. Got one more coming up before the end of the lap into the final chicane. And we've got one straight after into turn 1. It's not quite right onto the back of Astro. Probably wants to get a little bit closer, but it looks like he's got a good run through that corner, hit the apex really nicely. Tucked up in the slipstream. Is Astro going to defend? Doesn't look like it. Back barn, it'd be a bit of a send coming from there into the chicane. He doesn't go for it. Looks like he gets a good exit, so he's still right on the back of Astro. Jack just dropping off the back of this battle. Now, how was Fat Ban's exit there? 56.6 from Harry over the line. Beaten by Fat Ban, 56.2. And he is still in the slipstream, but he's not got a great exit. Jag is just pulling away. And Fat Ban was late on the brakes, but not close enough to get down the inside. And this is where the Porsche will be probably considerably stronger than the Jag. Although the Jag is probably one of the best rotating FR cars in the game. As long as they didn't kill it with the recent BOP update. It was relatively minor, everything got a little bit of a buff to a varying degree. So we shouldn't expect any major changes in the pecking order, for the cars at least. Oh, bit of a slide there, Fat Ban dipping a wheel onto the gravel. Again, he's close behind Astro, but not quite close enough. And have we got any changes down here? Pyro's actually made his way up into 7th, and Taz has made a mistake possibly somewhere. Because he was battling with Prime Call, he's now dropped quite a ways away. Oh, and Jack's got a half-second penalty. I think he just picked that up through the S's. It's a bit of a frustrating penalty because you don't actually gain time. Ooh, there's maybe a little bit of contact there from Klinger, but he gets to the inside, he gets the move done. Doesn't want to wait for Jack to serve that penalty. Now is Prime Call going to be patient and wait for Jack to serve the penalty, or is he going to get the move done before if he gets the opportunity? Looks like Klinger's starting to pull away from Jack. Just through that chicane. The AMG is very stable through that chicane. As we've got Fat Barney very close to Astro. Is he going to send it this time? No, looked like he might have been able to though. Closed up a lot. And who's he going to send it here? Yeah, gets to the inside. Goes a little bit wide, but nothing wrong with that. Just a block pass. And he's up into 2nd. Harry's not that far ahead. 56.5 on the last lap. 56.3, so he was still faster, even on the last lap behind Astro. So it'll be interesting to see if he can close that gap down. And Klinger's kind of stopped pulling away for now. That first sector is really where the MR cars shine. So that is to be expected to a degree. Now is where the AMG should at least be balanced. with the MR cars. It's not about low speed rotation, which is the MR cars' bread and butter. But it doesn't really matter because Jack D is going to serve that half-second penalty, and he's pulled a small gap on Prime Cole. It's not the worst penalty zone, so it's not a guarantee he loses that position, but I suspect he will. Pulls over to the inside. Yeah, more than enough. But the main reason it's actually not that bad is because if the driver behind is very close to just getting past you, you can defend the inside. With it being a tight chicane, it's hard to go 2x2 through there. It is possible, but you're going to cost yourself a lot of time doing that as well. So everybody's just sort of spread out a little bit. Taz is closing back into this group a little bit. 57-0 on the last lap. Basically matching the two cars ahead and closing a lot on Jack because of that penalty. Then we've got the battle of the admins. We've got Ross and Pyro. I think Ross has recently made the move on Pyro because he was in 7th at one point. Did out-qualify him as well. So this is kind of returning to the pace pecking order from qualifying. Both cutting that curb really nicely, using all of the exit. Which weirdly for a PD, they just do not care about you going over the line there. He's just considered part of the track. And he looks like he's sticking with Ross for now, pretty well. 59.6 on the last lap, so possibly a penalty. Penalty or a mistake. Because if you make a mistake through the last chicane, it can cost you a lot of time. If you get a bad bump over the curb, because you really can abuse the curbs there. Especially the first one, if you get a bad bump, you can just launch you into a bit of a spin. The FR cars might survive it better than some of the MR cars will. As he's sticking really closely, 3/10 up on his personal best. So he's back down to the lap times he was doing before lap 4 when he had whatever happened, mistake, penalty. Closes up under the brakes. Ooh, looks like he got a better exit. Ross having to cover off on the inside. For the final corner, is Pyro going to set up the switchback? It looks like he's trying. Gets a good exit. Ross immediately across to the inside to defend. 56.9 on the last lap, so personal best for Pyro. Now the outside's not the worst line here. If he sends it deep on the brakes, he can possibly hold it all the way around the outside. Doesn't look like he was interested in doing that. More interested in setting up a switchback or just falling back in line. As Fabian takes the fastest lap of the race, 55.8. So he will be closing that gap into the leader. Oh, Pyro having a lot of slides through that section. That's definitely cost him some time. 3/10 down through there. As we've got some moves happening up ahead, Klinger's actually made a mistake and Prime Cole and Astro are going at it. Oh, is Astro paused again? Is Astro having wheel problems? Oh, I think he might. He's definitely paused, which means this could be carnage. I think his wheel may have disconnected again, potentially. This is the problem with it being paused. It does not care where the other cars on track are. Down to 7th right now. Be interesting to see if he gets control and maybe pulls back into the pits or if he can get going. Well, that has made a big difference. Prime Cole now with a massive lead in 3rd. I think that actually slowed Prime Cole down as well because that gap to the front 2 has extended a decent amount as well. Oh, like Ross making a mistake. Picked up half second penalty. Was that through the chicane? No, he already had it. Maybe he's getting wrong-footed by his teammate. But was that in with? No, it looks like he's still paused. Oh, is it going to send it down the inside? No. Oh, yeah, that's one of the bad bounces you can get. cut too much of the first curb, it just launches the rear of the car up. Very easy to spin. Managing to survive, does have the half-second penalty. Astro, whatever is going wrong is still going wrong. As we've got Taz looking for the move on Klinger. I don't think Klinger was wrong-footed by Astro being paused. Oh, close to getting Jack there. Because he was still quite a ways away from him after he dropped a couple of positions. So maybe a penalty for Klinger. As Taz is looking at the inside, gets alongside. Klinger should be able to hold it and get the apex for this next turn, but like I said, track limits on the exit of this corner do not matter. And Taz using all of the track and a little bit more, manages to get through and back up into P5, which I think is where he qualified. So all that work took him just over 6 laps to get back the positions he lost off the start. Which is why taking a car with bad starts is such a tricky problem to deal with in the sprint races. 56.3, that's good pace, that is podium pace. But we just had too much work to do to actually get back to that position. Yeah, prime call 56.6, 56.1 for Fatban on the last lap. 55.8, almost the fastest lap, only half a tenth away. That's good pace this late in the race. Looked like he was playing it really safe through the chicane there. Does have a little bit of a buffer, so he doesn't need to push it. And annoyingly, that bollard on the second apex can actually launch the car potentially. Doesn't happen often. Most of the times it deals with it. Sometimes you just get a random bounce and it launches the car into the air. So probably a smart decision not risking it. 56.5, he was only a tenth faster. That is going to be a big ask. If we got any battles going on, Pyro's actually looking to have a go at his teammate. Yeah, final race, not surprising. No championships on the line, it's just for personal pride in this one race. But Pyro really coming forward at the end of this race. Not sure what happened on lap 4, but he could have maybe had a couple more positions without that mistake. Because that's about 2 seconds lost. That's probably enough to have him in front of Taz, which I think he was in front of at one point. We've actually got Taz getting close to Jack as well. These look a little bit closer. Although they did. Well, Klinger in that first sector has managed to build up a little bit of a gap. So Pyro may need a bit of a mistake from Klinger to get close enough to try and set up a move. Gets the apex nicely, using the curb on the exit. Pyro actually looking like he was the one having a bit of a slide there. And looks fine. Is Taz close enough to go for a move on Jack? Not really. Would be a big send from there. Makes a little bit of a move to try and unsettle Jack. But couldn't quite manage it. And it is Harry who's going to take another sprint race win. Just ahead of Fatban, who couldn't quite close in it at the end. Primeco's going to get himself onto the podium. So gets the final podium spot. Jack up into P4. Taz does manage to get back and hold P5. Klinger only just ahead of his teammate Pyro. Then we've got Ross in 8th. Astro, whatever was going on, he managed to recover from it. But that probably cost him a podium. Then we've got Tom, who was having a battle with Auto across the line in 10th and 11th. And then we have Magical Man. Tyres look fine. Slightly worse than some of the cars ahead, but not particularly. Oh, where are you going? That is not the line there. Maybe he's just not getting on with this car. The Genesis is a bit of a tricky car to drive. I haven't driven it recently, but it was never the easiest. Does have the potential though. Some people can get really great results with it. Well, yeah, that is it for the last sprint race. Let's go to the feature. Obviously, we do have a chance of rain as well. And that screenshot looks a little bit cloudier than the first one did. So maybe we have a chance getting a little bit of spice thrown into the mix. There are a couple of different strategies. I'm expecting a one-stop from everybody. It's just a question of if it's mediums or softs. It is a bit cloudy, a little bit foggy, but maybe a chance of rain. So we've got Tom. Tom is on pole for his first feature race with us. Astro starting on the hards, Tom on the mediums, Ross on the softs. That is interesting. Could Ross do soft medium? I think most of the MR cars will be trying that, or medium soft, either way around. Not sure if the Jags can manage it. Ross does usually have good tyre wear, so maybe he can. We've got Pyro on the mediums. Klinger, we know from last week, is actually really good at managing the tyres. So I would expect he could maybe try medium soft. Taz, I would expect to do medium soft. Jack, same, medium soft. Prime Call. Fatban, he's on pad, and he's normally a little bit rough on the tyres, but I'm pretty sure he did medium soft in a practice race. So I think it's possible. Harry, unsurprisingly, going on the mediums, I expect he'll go medium soft. Also, probably has to go hard medium. And Magical Man, I would imagine, is doing the same. Does have a little bit worse tyre wear than Auto, actually, so he probably does need to go that as well. So let's get this race underway. We'll keep an eye out for any rain, if it does appear. And we are lights out. And the Jags pull into the slipstream. I do look like it got a good getaway though. Obviously the rolling starts, negating the poor grid starts. And it does manage to hold on to P1. Actually, Astro looking like it was coming under a little bit of pressure from his teammate, who really cannot afford to be getting passed by Pyro when he's on the soft tyres. Yeah, not having any of that. Ross just absolutely sends it back in and gets that position back. Pyro having a big twitch there as well, and another one, and his teammate as well. Struggling to get those tyres up to temperature. Not really a problem for Pyro, but it was critical for Ross to get that move done. And now, does his teammate know that he's on the softs? Yes, I think he does. I think he's letting him go there. Yeah, and then he pulls back in. Now, has he done that right, or has he let Pyro into the mix? No, he's timed that pretty well. Yeah, and Astro on the hard, so if he can hold Pyro up for, honestly, even a couple of sectors would do his teammate a world of good. And it looks like he's doing that for now. Pyro, is he going to send it into this corner? Not the biggest braking zone, it's tricky to get the move done, but it looks like he's just about done it. Yeah, it does. Managed to get up into third. And we've got Klinger and Taz going side by side in the background, as well as that is Jack on the back of those two. Taz managing to get that position. Having to go a little bit defensive into the chicane. And Klinger's going to try and go, has to back out. He was thinking he wanted to go around the outside, but like I said, tricky to go 2x2 through there. And now he's got Jack on his inside. Now with a wider line he should be able to get a better exit, but I think that twitch, maybe a little bit of contact from Jack, but nothing in that, costing him on the exit. He's close enough to go for a move back into turn one. And he is sending it, gets alongside. Can't fully claim the position though, and Jack's got the inside for turn two. He does manage to keep it. Taz looks like he's just got around the outside of Astro. We've got Fatban trying to get into the mix. Fatban might just about get away with that penalty. You can get a penalty for cutting the inside too much. Does lose out on that position though, and now he's got Harry trying to get past him. Oh, and he gets a half-second penalty. What was that for? I'm genuinely curious what that was for. Well, we've just got a little bit of calm. Was that for going off here? Surely not. I'll be honest, I really do not know what that penalty is for. Because that's the line that everybody takes on the exit of that corner. So maybe there is a track limit really early or really late that you can get a car out by. But other than that, I do not know where that penalty has come from. So that's probably going to be a little bit annoying for Fat Man. Only a half-second penalty, probably going to cost him 1 position maybe. To Harry though, which is a problem because that is probably his biggest competition. And pulls over to serve that penalty. Actually, I think he's going to lose the position to Prime Call, trying to go on the grass to slow down less. But he's still going to lose both of those positions. Yeah, and he is down into 10th. We've actually got Ross in the lead. So let's go back and find this move. So on lap 2, welcome IG. So Ross on the soft tyres. Who's going to send it all the way around the outside? Keeps it alongside, keeps it alongside. Should get the better exit. And he's fully ahead. Really nice move there from Ross. Obviously the tyre difference really making that possible. Like I said, the Jag does rotate really well for an FR car. He's very good and he's already pulling away. So let's get forward a little bit. So Tom, still the highest placed driver on the mediums. Pyro just behind. And then got Taz in 4th. Ah, you went medium hard. I mean, honestly, that's a fair strategy. Like, if you've not done any practice, I can understand doing that. Because most of the time, it's a safe bet that that is... If it's not the best strategy, it's a viable strategy. I don't think there's... I mean, if it works at Kyoto, it will probably work anywhere. Even the low tyre wear tracks. As long as you just absolutely hammer out the pace. Also means you don't have to worry about tyre wear at all. You just push, full push. As we've got Pyro with the fastest lap, 58.2. Ross might have a chance to take that on this lap before his tyres get too worn. And the laps we're looking for, Ross we're going to be expecting it on lap 7 if he's going softs to mediums. Medium guys, we're expecting 14 laps. They could maybe go a lap longer if they're worried about the tyre wear on the softs. Oh, as Tom, he's too much curb on the inside. Somehow manages to save it, but he might have lost himself that position to Pyro. Certainly brought him into the equation. Pyro's trying to go around the outside. Not quite going to work, but it does give him the inside for this corner, and he makes his way through. Now Taz just behind his, well, he's a teammate for this last round. I don't suspect they'll have done much in the way of communicating for team orders, so this will probably be a fight for position. Yeah, and it definitely looks like it. Taz just leaving it a little bit of a nose in. Had to back out really late into the chicane. Tom actually left him room, and that compromised his line and put him off the track on the exit and allowed him through. Oh, Pyro with a half-second penalty, but got Tom right behind his teammate. Looks like he's thinking about going for a move. Late on the brakes, gets alongside enough. Goes over the curb on the inside. Still gets a decent exit, but Taz is going to have the line. Oh, he goes a little bit wide. Oh, slide from Tom. That is going to cost him... Yeah, I thought he was maybe going to send it anyway. But it does cost him the opportunity to go for the move there. Then we've got Jack and some sort of chaos happening behind. This is Fat Ban. Whoa, what's happened to Parry? We have missed something big. How long ago did we miss that? Is it just a mistake on his own? Maybe going wide out of here. Oh no, just loses it. Ooh, almost collects a couple of people. Luckily he didn't collect anyone else with that, but Luzzy just up on the curb. Didn't even look like he touched a bit of the gravel. But we can jump back forward. I think this is where we were, so we can have a look at what was going on here. Got Astro starting on the hards and coming under pressure from basically everybody else who is on the mediums. Primecore gets to the inside, but not enough to get the position. Then we've got Fatban who goes all the way around the outside and goes super wide. It'd be so funny if he doesn't get a penalty for that. But whatever, he got one before, yeah, and he's fine. That's okay, but whatever he did a couple of laps ago is not okay. So like I said, no idea what he got that first penalty for. But he gets away with that. Still in 8th. And he had trouble getting past Astro in the sprint race. Although they were on the same tyres then, he does have a significant advantage with the pace of the mediums. Looks close, not super close though. Not going to be able to go for a move here. Maybe he can just set something up for the final chicane, or catch Astro by surprise. Not quite, a little bit of contact. Does get alongside, but it's allowed Primecore into the fight. Are they going to go 3 wide towards the chicane? No, Primecore, I think, not smartly deciding he didn't want to do that. Oh, there's Fatban. Well, that's surely got to be a penalty. What? Okay. I'm so confused. That's not a penalty. He gained a position. Got in the chicane. Well, he's going to gain that position and hold on to it somehow without a penalty. And now it is Primecore's job to try and get himself past Astro. He's going to be able to set something up. Ooh, got Klinger having a go at Tom up ahead. Gets to the inside, but Tom just sends it around the outside, gives him the inside for this corner and holds that position. Primecore, yeah, he is trying to set something up. Has he got... No, he has to pull back in. I wouldn't say the McLaren's brilliant on the brakes. Certainly in comparison to the Porsche, but he was going for it there. Had to back out because he just was not far enough alongside. Astro not getting a great exit. Managed to carry good speed through there though. Good speed through the S's, pulls a little bit of a gap. Does a decent sized gap actually. Still got Klinger trying to have a go at Tom, who looks like he's gone really wide there. What happened to Tom? Did he lose it? Did he have a slide maybe? Got a half-second penalty. Oh yeah, it goes wide. Dirty tyres? Still not sure. They're just... I think just maybe the dirty tyres catching him out and he's just too late on the brakes. Oh, I think Astro just barely avoided him, but it is going to maybe cost him that position to Primecore. Actually, no. Like I said, not sure the McLaren's brilliant on the brakes. Oh, but Astro makes a mistake on the exit. Really hard to go over the chicane and get a good exit on the hard tyres. They're so low grip. Primecore going full defensive already. But, well, not going full defensive, and Astro gets the better run, gets the inside line. Is Primecore going to go for the switchback? It looks like he's trying. But it's going to give him the outside for turn 2. He's going to have to hold it around 2 and 3. Give him the inside for 4 if he wants to try and get this move done. Ooh, that might be a little bit too wide. Yeah, a little bit too wide there. Just allows Astro to come back fully to the apex and claim the line. As we've got Fatban going for a move on Klinger up ahead. Just about gets that move done. Didn't leave him any opportunity to try and hold it out to the inside for the next corner. And still holding on to that position. Astro's still holding on to P7. Oh, but dips a wheel into the gravel. We need to get out of that pretty quick because the end of that gravel trap is super deep. Really slows you down a lot. Oh, that could be a penalty. Said he was carrying a lot of speed through there. That might get half a second penalty. He's got another lap before he serves it though. Although I think he's going to have a couple of dirty tyres now, which might allow Prime Call to get a run. You see he can carry so much more speed, but again he's going to have the outside line for the chicane. It's not the line he wants. Although Astro going super wide. Prime Call is ahead. Maybe Astro bailing out of that? Not sure. Oh, but Prime Call making a mess of the chicane. Maybe going to allow Astro back through. Into the final corner he does. Astro back up into P7. And Prime Call again trying to get a good run. Jag does have the legs on the McLaren. Not by much. Prime Call surely got to pull out for the inside. No. It was so close. Surely that was the opportunity to send it into turn one. Because the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be. I mean, his medium tyres are just as worn as the hards though. That's how much the Astro's wearing his tyres. Like I said, he's probably not going to be too bothered, well, he's not going to be bothered at all about tyre wear because he's going hard medium. He just push them as hard as he can. He's got a few more laps to do on the hard tyres before he can come in for the mediums, I think. Prime Call again looking to the inside, but he just wasn't really close enough to get far enough alongside to command the corner. We've got Maddox still holding on to these two, but he's got himself seconds worth of penalty. So maybe Prime Call just... I mean, at this point I probably wouldn't be bothered about going for the move, just sit behind. Although now he's actually going for the move. He's about to get given this position for free. As we've got a Mighty Mini and Auto going side by side in the background. Yeah, so this is an easy position for Prime Call. As long as he doesn't make a mistake through the chicane, he should have a big enough gap that he's not going to come back under attack. Goes a little bit wide, but he doesn't look like Astro got the best exit. Ross now is into the pits on lap 7, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go into the medium tyre. Prime Call looks very much clear, and Harry did manage to get past Auto. So let's go back up to the net race leader. I think Ross pitted from the lead, so he's still kind of the net race leader, and he's going to get an undercut on these guys. So I'd expect him to come out in the lead still. Then we've got these guys. Taz has already told us, we know he's going for a medium hard strategy. Pyro, I think he's going to have to, just looking at the tyres, because they will not go 14 laps. Jack might have to go medium hard as well. That front left is more than 50% worn. I know he's done the first sector, so he might be able to bring that back and manage it for the second half of this stint. And Fatban's actually even worse, so we might have a lot of people going for the medium hard strategy. Fatban currently going purple. But everyone around him is on the same strategy. The only person who isn't is Astro, who's going to have the advantage of the medium tyres in the second stint. And then we've got Auto in 10th, and then Ross completely on his own with some free air now to drive into. And he is going to the end on the medium tyres, so we'll have to see how they hold up. Given that he went 7 on the softs, he should be okay. Taz now with a big lead because Pyro's serving that half-second penalty. I'm pretty sure these guys are just going to run the mediums as long as they can. Fatban, Pyro and Taz are definitely going medium hard. Jack is the one that's maybe got a chance of going medium soft. Ooh, Fatban getting super close on the brakes. That Porsche really is a weapon on the brakes. Super easy to get yourself into trouble, actually, because if you brake at your normal point and the car in front is not as good on the brakes, you can quickly end up in hitting the back of them, maybe causing an incident. So it's something you got to keep in mind. But all these guys super close together. Still can't quite see Harry in the back of the shot, but we definitely got to keep an eye on him. Had plenty of pace, so he can still make his way into this front fight, potentially. And I really do think he's going to be going medium soft, so he could have a compound advantage on everybody at the front for that second stint. And the undercut that these guys are going to get on the hard tyres is really not going to be as significant as Ross's will be going into fresh mediums now. So I wouldn't rule him out of a podium chance yet. Oh, that's not great. It looked like possibly like playing a part, but that was... Has he paused? Is he putting his hazards on as an apology? I'm not sure, but... That was definitely a push to pass, whether intentional or not. Like I said, there was a bit of a lag spike when the contact happened. But that has cost Jack a couple of positions. Not as much time as it could have been, he kept it on track really well. But that's also going to hurt his tyres a little bit. All you have to do when they're worn is a little bit of sliding, and you can see he's sliding a little bit more there. They start to overheat, and then it's really hard to get them back under control. But he is straight back onto the back of Klinger. Primecall. Primecall is closing in from behind. So maybe Jack can make a little bit of progress, get one of those positions back. Basically lost in 4 seconds that one little incident, which is really unfortunate because it's a pretty tight field right now, so that 4 seconds means a lot. Not quite close enough. Primecall comfortably pulled away from Astro, who's got himself a half-second penalty. Then we've got Tom holding on well in front of Harry, who must have made another mistake. 2 minutes 4 on the last lap. Let's just double check. Yeah, 2 minutes 4, that is correct. So he must have got the position on Tom, and then he's just lost it again with that mistake on the last lap. So that's probably killed his podium chances. I think the best he's fighting for is a top 5 now. And we're also just behind, what kind of lap times Ross doing? 59.2. He's only matching the leaders. He's matching Taz at least. Pyro and Fatban was actually half a second quicker then. Curious to see what the lap time this is from Fatban though. Yeah, 59.0, so back down to where he would have been. The incident actually cost Fatban a little bit of time then. Nowhere near as much as it did Jack as he goes for the move on Pyro. Pyro looked like he was trying, it looked like he took a bit too much curb. Because you can cut over it without getting a penalty, but it is a severe drop if you cut over the curb fully. Most cars just can't handle it, they're not set up for that. Way too stiff, and he's sliding so much. We've had Astro in off the hard tyres, only did 10 laps, so medium tyre runners could be in as early as this lap. Taz, I expect, will keep going for a couple more laps. Just based on the tyre wear. Because you want to spend as much time on mediums compared to hards as you can, really. There's a very limited crossover point between mediums and hards. And Fat Band's front tyre is definitely in worse shape. Pyro's in the worst of all at the front three. So is he going to be the first to dip from the top three positions? Get on a set of hard tyres. Be interesting to see where he comes out relative to Ross. Oh, dipping a couple of wheels in the gravel. It's not going to help, but he's got a half-second penalty anyway. It's going to allow his teammates to close up as Jack serves a penalty in the background. Not going to get close enough. His tyres, Klinker's tyres, definitely better, but they're not amazing. Pyro, yeah, Pyro's coming in. Taz is coming in on this lap. That's interesting. Fat Band does not want to come in on this lap. We caught one of them, at least. I don't know what happened a couple of laps ago. I know something happened, but I do not know what exactly. Jack's still got a chance at going softs at the end, which could actually work out great. Those 4 seconds could be even more crucial if he can, because it's going to drop him into more traffic than he would have been. Prime Call is surely going to be going medium soft. Harry, pretty sure the same, got to be going medium soft. Otto, I think he's just going hards for as long as he possibly can. And Ross does manage to retake the lead, or the net race lead. Doing a couple of 58s on the last lap, compared to 59s, that made all the difference. And he's got the tyre advantage for now, especially while Taz is still trying to get those tyres warmed up. Pyro has gone on to the soft tyres. I can only assume that was a misclick, because the pit lane is so long that two-stop is really just not at all the way to go. Unless he wants to try and get himself a fastest lap point, and he just wants to do two... Well, no, he's there, yeah. Just thinking. He changed the tyres first, so he might have short-filled because he misclicked, because he's definitely fueled for a short stint. So you lost the car at the same place. Yeah, yeah, that's not a great way to prepare. But the championship was over, so I can't really fault you for that. Not doing a lap on mediums. I'm really curious as to why Pyro has decided to do this, or if he is a misclick. Astro going onto the mediums makes sense. Tom, he's actually got himself a penalty coming, I think, because that is his second set of mediums, which is not allowed. You've got to use 2 compounds. So, unfortunate for Tom, but better to learn now in this race than next season when he's in a tier for the full season. And we've got Harry in after 13 laps, so well, we have seen him have some ridiculously good tyre wear. He still could be going softs. Yeah, and he is. Hold on, wait, that's the end of lap 12. Ooh, I don't know about that. 9 laps on softs? Maybe he can do it. Or maybe he just wants to go aggressive and try it. Nothing to lose at this point. A little bit of a gap to Astro, but then he's got a big gap to the cars ahead. Pyro is going to be a free position, because he does have to pit again. Yeah, he does have to pit again. Yeah. Like I said, 13 and 8 I could see working, but 9 laps on the soft seems a really long time. Yeah, Pyro is going to get a chance at the purple lap, but the fact that Harry's on the soft says that's probably not going to stand. And ooh, he's Fatban. I did see Fatban try this in practice, but he killed the softs before the end of the race. So I think he's going to go on to softs. Jack. Yeah, probably a whisper left, I imagine. Primecole's well. Primecole makes sense. He's got ridiculous tyre wear in that McLaren. He could do 8 laps. Jack, probably going to be pushing it a lot, but I think he could do it. Fatban, I think he's going to maybe get a puncher on the final lap. Because he did in the practice race, and he lost, like, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 seconds. And he's got a lot of people to overtake. True, true. And you do kind of need that. That's why I say it's like, if you were in a fight for something, like the championship was still on, or just anything really, like I would have just stayed out the extra lap, just because of the risk of the puncher, but at this point you've really just got nothing to lose. So Pyro does have the fastest lap for now. Fatban or Harry, surely got to take that. They're both on soft tyres. I would be very surprised if they don't. And Jack, luckily, those 4 seconds have not cost him anything in terms of track position. But he is still a long way behind Fatban. That 4-second gap is probably that distance. Taz on the hard tyres versus Ross on the mediums, and they're going to be worn mediums by the end. Pyro is 100% pitting for whatever reason. Mistake, be it design, we don't know. But he has got himself the fastest lap for the time being, and he's brought himself up into second. But this pit stop might drop into last when it comes, like it really might. So let's go back to this group, because this is where the battling is happening. We've got Harry finally caught up to Astro, who is on the medium, so he's got a tyre advantage. Still wants to fight as little as possible, if he can, because he's got to be careful with these tyres. Although I don't think he particularly cares. Like I said, going side by side through there, not easy. Someone usually ends up coming out worse in it, and it was Astro on this occasion. Looked like he was still technically far enough alongside to be left space though. 57.9, and yeah, a little bit of traffic playing with Harry's fastest lap attempt. Fatban, well, he's got a little bit of a gap, but Taz is on the hards. He's going to close that pretty quick. I mean, there's a world where Pyro keeps the fastest lap. I'd be surprised. Actually, no, never mind, Harry. The guys in front are on softs as well, so I don't think he's going to have any problems getting the fastest lap on this one. Let's see, how are we shaking out at the back? We've got Klinger onto the softs. Did Klinger make a mistake? He's dropped a long way back from where he was. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I missed something somewhere. I'm sure he was further up than that. Also, we've got out on the mediums. Like I said, Viper really is not the car for the track. Tom, we know, has a 1-minute penalty coming his way for using 2 sets of mediums. Got Astro trying to get the mediums to the end. Then we've got these 3 on softs trying to hunt down Ross and Taz. So let's see, Jack, he's actually not going purple. And we just missed all the other 2 through the sectors, so we'll have to wait till the line for those 2. And Fatban did catch up to Taz on this lap. Hasn't managed to get the move done though. You can see how much more grip he's got. Pulls out, yeah, not going to be able to get fastest lap. Taz is defending it. But Fatban's surely going to be easily through here. Yeah, way later on the brakes, and he's got the grip when he gets to turn 1. Easy move there for Fatban. Yeah, and Harry 56.6 does take the fastest lap. Fatban's probably got one more shot at getting that. Definitely not an unbeatable time. And his tyres are still good enough where he can manage that. He made a mistake in the chicane, got sent flying back up to the grass, but kept it alive. Okay. I did think you were a little bit further up. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Like I say, the best line through that chicane is to absolutely send it over the curbs. And it is risk versus reward. It's very much worth doing it, because you gain a lot of time. But if it goes wrong, you lose a lot of time. I think we've seen a couple of people caught out so far tonight. Got Pyro with this half-second penalty. I would imagine he pit this lap. Split the two soft stints 5 and 5. He could go another lap on if he wants to, but if he's going to then do 4 on the next one, it's... kind of... yeah, he's coming in this lap. So Ross is going to take over the lead again. But now it's Fatban behind, whose tyres are still plenty fresh enough to get this move done quickly if he gets there. Or when he gets there. Real question is, can he beat the fastest lap? Ooh, not quite. Couple of tenths. Still possible, but I think it's a much bigger ask now. Nobody's improving the lap. 57.6, 57, 57. I mean, Pyro's got one more shot at it, but I'm not sure his qualifying time beat that, so I'm not sure if he can. Let's see where he comes out, actually. In 9th, just ahead of Tom. Just ahead of Tom, just behind his teammate. Whoa, goes way too deep at turn 1. Managed to just about keep it on the track, though. So let's go up to here, because I think this move is going to be coming pretty easily. Ross is surely going to defend it. He's in the lead. Doesn't feel the need to. At least not yet. Ooh, Fatban trying to get to the inside. And does, but again, a little bit of contact air backs out of that one. Not sure why his connection's not great. Didn't have any problems in his eval or in the practice races before. So maybe just his connection to Ross is not particularly great. Actually, no, this is Prime Call. So maybe his connection to Prime Call is not particularly great. For whatever reason. Still. Probably just waiting for turn 1 now. Not going to be sending it from that far back. Maybe it's just not on from there. Goes nicely over the chicane. If he gets a good exit, he might be able to go into the final corner. And he's not alongside, but he's definitely close enough to send it for the move. Gets to the inside, gets completely ahead. Didn't look like Ross got a great exit, so he might be safe into turn 1 as well. Now the only thing we've got to do is keep an eye on the tyres. If he can pull a big enough gap, it won't matter. But I think they're not quite going to make the end. But his chance at fastest lap is pretty much gone. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to beat the 56.6 with those tyres. Ross is going to have himself some side trouble as well, because they're going to be really low. Taz got plenty of tyres, but he's on the hards. Coming under pressure from Jack, who actually almost got the fastest lap himself. 56.8, only 10th and a half off his teammate there. Who is now the car that is behind him. And you can see how much worse his tyres are. 4 laps to go on those. I'm expecting a puncher. The question is, how many positions is that going to lose him? As we've got Pyro past his teammate, potentially let past, although I don't remember seeing team orders between these two before. Does have that half-second penalty, but, well, I was going to say if he could build a gap, but he's not going to build it doing that. And then we've got Otto, who I think has possibly just got past Tom. So luckily for Tom, currently his minute penalty is not going to make any difference to the results. Is this half-second penalty going to drop Pyro behind his teammate? That might be just enough to keep him ahead. It's close. Yeah, but Klinger not going to send it on his teammate, and Pyro should be able to pull away now with the better tyres. And also actually got better tyres than Tom does at the moment, so that would explain a little bit of why he's managed to make that move. And we got Jack going around the outside of Taz. Actually starts all the way back here. He's got a nice gap in front of him. Must get a great exit through the chicane. Oh, just a not great one from Taz. And he gets to the inside. Not all the way ahead though. And is Taz going to get the better exit? No, Taz is actually behind. Ooh, and Harry with a half-second penalty in the background. So Taz is going to go to the inside to try and get this position back. Does just about get there, but Jack, on those softer tyres, managed to hold it around the outside. Up into the podium positions. Oh, that's a slide on the exit. Now he's got a few laps to try and close this gap down to Ross. Definitely doable. Ross is on older medium tyres still. There's not really going to be a crossover until the softs puncture, I don't think. And Primeco's still looking like he was close to Harry in the background, so maybe that half-second penalty is going to drop him one position. And then I think there is Astro, yeah, Astro in the background there. So if there's a puncture, he should be there to capitalise. Not sure he's going to be able to close the gap without it. And looking at the minimap, Pyro has started to pull away from his teammate. But Jack is really not pulling away massively from Taz. Oh my Taz, what's doing? 58 zeros. Low 49s, mid 59, sorry. And plenty of life left in the tyres. So I think Jack's tyres should be okay to the end. It's not going to be easy, but 2 laps, it's manageable. Fatbands are a little bit worse, but not much. What Harry's looking like. Didn't cost him the position, but they're now impressively close to his teammate, considering he's done an extra lap. He is coming under a little bit of pressure from Primecall now. He does have better tyres. Kind of expected. He's had this advantage for basically the whole season with this McLaren. Great tyre wear all the time. And he's trying to get this move done. But for now, while the tyres are holding on, I think Harry's just got enough. Now we're actually going to have a battle for P2. Because not only is Jack closing into Ross, Taz also closing in. So we've got a little bit of space. We didn't get any rain, unfortunately, it has cleared up. So no rain to spread. Oh, where's Ross gone? Ross just trying to push to hold the position. Well, definitely wasn't any contact there. He definitely lost it all on his own. Did he go into the gravel or did he just lose it on the curb? We say Harry's. Oh, he didn't even go on the curb. I think he was just holding a tighter line than he would normally. Oh, he's gone back to the racing line. Luckily, it is enough for the cars behind to go around him. But that is very painful for Ross. His chance at a potential P2 if he could have held it. The tyres were getting to the point where they would have been even with Jack, given how low his tyres are getting. So there was a chance he held on to that P2. Yeah. It is tricky. Because the optimal way to take that corner is you go in, you make it into a V. Or even if you don't and you hug the inside, you have to get on the throttle super early. How the tyres? Flatband tyres looking alright. Jack's are even better, so Jack's probably safe. Fatman may get a puncture right at the end of the lap, but it should be okay. Mighty somehow, or Harry somehow... Harry just changed his name. That's nice, makes it easier. So, has he changed his name, or has he just added TBG? I think he's just added TBG. He's Mighty Mini in the YouTube chat, I think. It gets confusing with all the different names going on. But his tyres might just make it. He's not safe. He added TBG. Yeah, it was, yeah, so it was Harry then. I was getting confused thinking it might have been Mighty Mini in-game as well. So, well, Jack's definitely not safe. Because Taz is right behind him. It's a question of whether his tyres make it. Which I thought it would be okay, but they are getting very low. Yeah, very. Okay. Getting the law drops. Whoa! A little bit of contact there. Which causes Jack to slide, which is not going to help. It is the final round. We'll actually have a look back at that battle as well. As we've got Taz looking for the move on the inside of Jack. I think that was just okay. I think that was probably just Jack not being able to turn in there. In fact, he does get a puncher on the line. But Taz actually using the medium hard to work really well. Jack doesn't quite get a puncher. Harry is barely going to hang on with... Didn't actually get a puncher either, which is insane. Then we've got Prime called Rosted, hold on to 6 just in front of his teammate. Klinger has somehow... Pyro's run out of fuel. Is that going to cost him a position to auto? Not quite, but barely. Barely. So, we know that Harry... Let's go back all the way to the beginning of the lap. Because apparently there is going to be a battle for fourth. And we did see how close Harry's tyres got to being punctured. There were pixels left on basically all 4 tyres. And like I said, Prime Call not going to have any issues whatsoever. Fuel? He's got a lot more fuel. But we've seen that before as well this season. It doesn't mean that Harry's particularly low on fuel. Might mean that Prime Call is overfilled at his pit stop. So goes wide into there, playing it safe on the exit. Understandable, especially given the tyres. Yeah, playing it safe through there as well. And Prime Call is starting to gain. Oh, and he goes wide there. That's the tyre wear kicking in. Managed to hit the apex. Prime Call is going to be getting forced to the outside again. The inside for this little kink, but it's the outside for the chicane. Yeah, once they get to this point, it basically refuses to do anything. Oh, and Prime Call just missed an opportunity there. If he could have set that up a bit better on the exit, would have had an easy position into the last corner. And Harry just holding on to it. Ross and Astro getting super close on the line as well. Ross's tyres did make it in the end. So a little bit unfortunate that one little incident for Ross. Yeah. Because you just could not get a turn for the first apex at all. And then Tom spinning it over the line. But yeah, that is the final race of the season. Let's go and have a quick look at where the rest of the stanzas ended up. Obviously, we know the champion. So here we go, tier 2. Obviously got Harry winning the championship, 53 points clear in the end. Taz actually getting second, in front of Prime Con in the top 3. Badabig didn't race this last round, so drops down a bit. Then we've got Jack in the top 5, so that really solidifies Citroen's hold on the constructors, 132 points clear in the end. Then we've got Astro in 6th, Klingby 7th, Ross in 8th, Pyro 9th, and Auto in 10th in the Viper, which is not a bad effort at all in that car. But yeah, that is it for this season. Sign-ups for anyone who's interested in joining are currently up. There should be a link to the Discord in the description, I think. Or just search Aero League Racing, take you to our website, and you can join from there. But yeah, if you want to get involved, hop on in. It is the off-season. We do have a couple of events going on during that as well. We've got the Rally Showcase on WRC, and then the Chaos mode for GT, which is basically random cars, but focusing on the new stuff they did in the Spec 3 update. So if you want to get involved, hop in to the server. And yeah, I will see you all next season. Possibly for the same tier. We will see, but I will definitely be doing comms next season. And yeah, looking forward to that. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.